Anyone that's human would have to be somewhat apprehensive as to the methods of woodworking with shades. It's challenging. It's quite an experience.
When a student first starts in the program, we take a little bit of time and just get started with basic shop orientation, understanding the layout of the shop so they feel like they can navigate from one spot to the next without getting clobbered by something. As they get comfortable with the layout of the shop, then we'll move on to using some basic hand tools, making some simple projects involving a non-visual measuring device called a click ruler. And then after they get down some of the measuring techniques, then we move on to the next facet of woodworking, which is cutting. So the next project would involve making a name sign, taking a nice hardwood board and carving letters into it using some simple power tools as well as some simple hand tools. After a student is able to complete the name sign, then they will go on to make a cutting board. And it's a decent size cutting board with some good heft to it.
There's a lot of ways that the industrial arts program can help a student definitely have confidence that you can use non-visual skills to produce wood projects here or whatever. It's just a great program to bring you back into being employable, productive, confident human being again.
We teach them the skills they need to use the computer to get to work and to be able to browse the internet, to search for potential jobs using different assistive technologies. Some are speech only, where the computer speaks back, and some have some magnification features as well. We're working on selecting text so that we can change the appearance as we might for a memo for an employer or in an email. If these guys are going to get employment after they leave here, they need to be able to use a computer. The confidence that they can gain through being able to navigate the internet and keep track of friends and family as well makes a huge difference in their networking ability to spend time chatting with friends and family, helps people feel connected. The internet's a very powerful resource for the blind and visually impaired to connect with other people who are encountering the same types of struggles. They get the skills to do anything that they would have to do in an office setting and gain the confidence and ability to stay connected, enhancing their lives all around.
I need to have larger print as well as enhanced print on a computer. And so right now I'm learning to navigate through a program called Zoom Text, which allows me to change background colors and also the size of the letters. It's just going to make doing the sort of the everyday task that a person has to do just much easier to accomplish.
The whole purpose of the Assessment and Training Center is for people to be successful vocationally. So usually once they go to and get training in a lot of the core classes, Braille, computer, shop, orientation mobility, ADL, a lot of times that last term that they're here, they'll be in job readiness. And what job readiness is, it lays a foundation for a person, once they leave the Assessment and Training Center, to kind of have a game plan in place to be able to move forward in whatever vocational arena that they want. Commission doors are always open to clients and past clients.
Activity days occur periodically in the ATC. Students plan, organize, and participate in all sorts of activities, ranging from bowling and gold panning to things like hiking, going to the movies, and eating out, just to name a few. Activity days are an opportunity for the students to use the skills out in public that they've been developing in the classroom. These opportunities also help students to realize they can continue to take part in recreational and leisure activities that they have always enjoyed but may have given up due to vision loss. Students who come for training have the option to live in the dorm on the 3rd and 4th floor of the Commission building. In addition to dorm rooms, there are common kitchens, 2 laundry rooms, and 2 living areas in the dorms, complete with televisions, phones for local calls, and computers, and assistive technology for students to use. What do former students and their families have to say about the ATC?
It's imperative. Regardless if you think you need it, which at the time I didn't think I needed it. It was a requirement, like I said, to get into the program. But after you go through it, there's so many things that you discover that you need the training for. Especially with a disease like mine that's degenerative, it'll continue to get worse. So It's not like I'll never have to take training again, but at least I'll know what to expect better the next time. So yeah, it was imperative. The instructors are great. They seem compassionate to vision loss. They seem to have a good idea of what it's, of what it's like to deal with vision loss. But definitely, now that I know the training is there, if I do lose more vision, it'll be that much easier to go and seek that training.
So I showed up, scheduled for the first term, and it's like, I don't need this, I don't want this. And especially when they handed me a cane. Here, you need to have this, and it's like, I do not want a cane. Because it makes it real. There's no turning back. This is the way life is gonna be, and to me, what kind of life is that?
When he first started losing his vision, basically our world changed big time. And there was a lot of anger and a lot of, I can't do this. He didn't want to come, and it was pretty much, yeah, you're gonna go or else, because I'm not gonna deal with you giving up.
I thought my life was over. I'm gonna be sitting in a box, being miserable. You might as well put a bullet in my head. And coming to this center, once you realize there's a lady that teaches you how to cook and she can't see, and she's raised 2 kids. There's a lady that teaches you Braille that's blind, and she takes care of her house, her husband, her grandkids, gets back and forth to work. The computer guy was blind and taught me how to run a computer, which I hate computers. If you sit and think about that and think, there's something to this, that if these people can do this, why can't I? And the attitude here was, you can do anything you want, you just need to learn how to do it differently. I can do anything that I used to do. It's just, I have to figure out different ways to do it sometimes. I work on small engines, I work on my own cars. If I need brakes on a car, I do it. If you want your life back, this is the place to get it. And I firmly believe that. If it was not for the ATC, I don't know where I'd be.
Like he said, this place has changed our lives.
Yeah, it's the best thing that ever happened to me. Best thing.
So what would blind and visually impaired clients expect from the ATC?
When people first come to the ATC, typically what we see is someone who is very, very unsure. They have that belief that what you can't see, you can't do. They're not certain if they're going to be able to work again. They're not certain if they're going to be able to care for their families again. There's a lot of uncertainty when people first get here. A lot of fear, a lot of anxiety. Hopefully by the time they leave, that fear and that anxiety is gone. There's a confidence that has replaced it, and they realize that they can still do almost everything they've ever wanted to do, and they realize they can do it regardless of how much vision they have. And that is our goal, is to empower people and give them techniques and skills that will allow them to do things without vision, or a combination of with vision or without, or whatever they need to get the job done, and hopefully go back to work. It's very important for them to understand that they aren't the only one, and in fact we hear back from clients all the time that that is something that had a big impact on them, that they realize there's other people in the same boat. They're not the only one, and I hear that all the time, that I thought I was the only one. So they do build a camaraderie with their peers here, groups of students. I still hear about groups of students I worked with 15 years ago who still are in contact, who still support each other, still have that network. So yeah, there's a big component of camaraderie and support from the other people in this center.
The ATC, an opportunity to learn, an opportunity to grow, and an opportunity to develop skills that will allow you to reach your employment goals. If you or someone you know might be interested in attending the ATC, please speak with a vocational rehabilitation counselor at one of the Idaho Commission for the Blind and Visually Impaired offices around the state to determine if the ATC fits into your employment plan. Or call us at 1-800-542-8688 for more information.